This is CBC Vancouver News.
Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
Canada hits back at the U.S. with big tariffs after President Donald Trump launches a trade war. And
I have directed BC liquor sales to immediately stop buying American liquor from red states.
BC's premier is also taking action against the U.S. tariffs with a three-point plan, including a ban on some American liquor. And
snow could be intense, rapidly accumulating on surfaces, making travel difficult.
The South Coast is bracing for a blast of wintry weather in what will be the region's first widespread snowfall of the season. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Janella Hamilton. Today, the U.S. government notified Ottawa that a 25% tariff will be slapped on Canadian goods starting on Tuesday. That number will apply across the board with the exception of energy, which will be hit with a 10% tariff. Chris Reyes reports.
President Donald Trump is making good on his promise to hit Canada with tariffs. The breakdown, 25% on goods, 10% on energy resources, affecting billions of dollars worth of Canadian products that cross into the U.S. yearly. The shockwaves are hitting far and wide.
We're in a moment that is historic, existential threat to the country. It's not just an economic attack. I believe this to be an attack on Canadians, an attack on their values, an attack on our sovereignty. And it's a moment where we need to stand strong and united in the face of such an assault.
President Trump confirmed the tariffs in a late afternoon statement from the White House, writing this: "The extraordinary threat posed by illegal aliens and drugs, including deadly fentanyl, constitutes a national emergency under the International Emergency Economics Powers Act. Until the crisis is alleviated, the tariffs will be imposed on Canada as well as Mexico and China."
Today, for us as Canadians, everything has changed forever right now. Everything we knew is different. We are going to have to be more creative than we've ever been in the last 40 or 50 years in terms of how we use and lever economic policy in our country.
In the statement, the White House explains that the president is using tariffs as a tool to put American safety and national security first. Industry experts in Canada say the tariffs will have a seismic impact on the Canadian economy, possibly plunging the country into recession and causing massive job losses.
The president may be feeling that he can ride this out for a period of time. We're much more vulnerable. I mean, the job losses here could be quite serious, and we're not in a financial and fiscal position to be able to be responding and doing this for the long haul.
The U.S. has also said it plans to escalate the tariffs should Canada or the other countries retaliate. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
Trump's tariffs could plunge the economy into a recession, but the federal government says Canada won't take this lying down. The CBC's Kate McKenna has more.
It's a major blow from Canada's closest ally, threatening hundreds of thousands of jobs and pushing Canada into an era of economic uncertainty.
25% in automotive will cause for a shutdown of the industry in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico within a week.
This is devastating news for people of Newfoundland and Labrador, no doubt for the people across the country.
Ottawa has signaled as recently as yesterday it's ready to fight back.
Should there be tariffs, we will be ready and we will respond and we will have a strong retaliation plan.
We're going to have to retaliate, yes, with tariffs of our own, and that will be painful, but there is not a choice. He only will recognize strength, and that is the only hand that we have to play right now.
The trade war looms, with sources telling CBC News Americans are threatening to increase the already steep tariffs if Canada retaliates. Already, Trump's plan could cost Canadian jobs.
This would effectively mean a modest recession for Canada. Our unemployment rate, which is sitting at 6.7%, could easily go to 7.5%, 8%.
He's chosen to tear up decades of goodwill that has made life better for workers on both sides of the border.
Some say these tariffs mark a shift in Canada's relationship with the United States.
I think Donald Trump has a game plan in his own head about his manifest destiny, running the hemisphere, being the top alpha dog in the world.
It's a shakedown. We've never seen anything like it. I can't think of any American president who's behaved like this.
That's Kate McKenna reporting. This evening, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau addressed the U.S. tariffs with Canada's next steps.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. And as part of our response, we are considering, with the provinces and territories, several non-tariff measures, including some relating to critical minerals, energy, procurement, and other partnerships. We will stand strong for Canada. We will stand strong to ensure our countries continue to be the best neighbors in the world.
Here in BC, Premier David Eby has laid out his plans for immediate countermeasures aimed at protecting BC workers and businesses. Sohrab Sandhu reports.
President Trump's crushing 25% tariffs are a complete betrayal of the historic bond between our countries. It is a declaration of economic war against a trusted ally and friend.
BC Premier David Eby mincing no words Saturday after U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order confirming he will impose tariffs on most Canadian imports beginning Tuesday. Eby says the province will stand firm in the face of what he is calling an unprecedented attack with immediate retaliatory measures.
I have directed BC liquor sales to immediately stop buying American liquor from red states. Liquor store employees will be removing the most popular of these brands from government store shelves. I have directed government and our crown corporations, like BC Hydro, ICBC, and health authorities, to immediately stop buying American goods and services and buy Canadian.
Eby says the province will also be taking steps to counter any job losses by fast-tracking permits for projects to support local industry jobs and economy.
We're accelerating permit approvals on critical mining and low-carbon energy projects.
Eby says he's particularly concerned about the impact of the tariffs on BC's forestry sector. This expert says it will be a major blow to softwood lumber producers who already face a duty on U.S. exports.
Let's keep in mind that 25% is on top of the 15% we have. So we are now looking at a 40% cost increase to our products, the price of our products in the United States market.
An estimated 54% of BC's exports go to the U.S., making it British Columbia's biggest trading partner. One project shows the province could see a cumulative loss of $69 billion in economic activity over the next 3 years. But some BC business advocates say the setback could be an opportunity to become more self-reliant.
We should be unlocking natural resources to jumpstart job creation and supply chain engagement, and as well as diversify markets as much as possible.
The way our premiers are talking about interprovincial trade barriers being removed. And we would say, well, let's continue that discussion and talk about interprovincial skilled trades mobility across this country.
Eby says he has put together a trade and economic security task force with business and Indigenous leaders. The group will support BC's tariff response and ensure actions are swift and coordinated. Sohrab Sandhu, CBC News, Vancouver.
BC's police watchdog is investigating after a person was shot and killed by officers in Surrey Friday night. Surrey police say they were called to a home near Bear Creek Park to arrest a person on an outstanding warrant. They say the person confronted officers with a weapon. Police then fired their weapons and the person died at the scene. The IIO is now working to confirm the details of what may have led up to the shooting and actions by police. Meanwhile, homicide investigators say 2 men are in custody after a deadly stabbing outside a pub in Coquitlam Friday night. Mounties say just before 10 p.m. they responded to a report of a fight outside the John B. pub on Austin Avenue. Police say a 35-year-old man died from his injuries. 2 men believed to be involved were arrested and remain in custody. The province says an elementary school in Cranbrook will need to be replaced after a fire gutted the school's gym last summer. The school is still closed and more than 200 students and dozens of staff remain displaced. And as Corey Bullock reports, parents are worried about the school's uncertain future.
It's been a tough few months for Carmen Jensen and her family. Her 3 daughters were displaced from their elementary school last year after a fire in the school's gymnasium. And now her kids are being bused to separate schools across town.
That has been frustrating with 3 kids at 3 different schools.
But what's even more upsetting, she says, is a lack of answers about the future.
Again, the frustration. You go to the district for answers to your questions. They're waiting for the ministry, and the ministry says ask the district. So it is a dog chasing its tail.
BC's Ministry of Infrastructure said this week that the school will likely need to be replaced as quickly as possible, and it's working with the district on that plan. But there's still no indication of when or how that will happen and how much it will cost.
What a terrifying situation it must be for so many students and families, not only to learn and probably witness the aftermath of such a tragic fire, but also to not know what the future holds.
The fire happened last June, and an engineer has since determined that the gym's structural integrity is compromised.
The gym cannot exist as it currently is, and then throughout the rest of the damage, or throughout the rest of the building, really it's about significant smoke damage.
Police deemed the fire suspicious and their investigation continues. But in the meantime, parents like Jensen just want answers.
You can sympathize all you want, I guess, but it doesn't remove the fact that we're trying to plan our future for our families.
The school board previously said it could be 3 to 5 years before the school is open again, meaning Jensen's kids may never return.
We already have plans for kids not to be in Amy Woodland for next year.
The province says School District 5 has formally submitted a request for capital funding. That budget is expected to be released in March. Corey Bullock, CBC News, Cranbrook.
Parts of the South Coast saw its first snowfall of the season today, and Environment Canada says more is on the way. Snowfall warnings are in effect for Metro Vancouver and Vancouver Island, with higher elevations expected to see up to 20 centimeters by Sunday morning. Pinky Wong has more.
People across BC's South Coast waking up to the first snowfall of the season. Some families making the most of it after a very dry January. Environment Canada says a blast of wintry weather is hitting the South Coast overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. Some areas may see around 10 centimeters of snow, while higher elevations are expected to see closer to 20 centimeters.
Snow could be intense, rapidly accumulating on surfaces, making travel difficult. So best thing to do right now, make sure you have your car equipped for winter driving conditions.
The weather agency says temperatures in Metro Vancouver will hover around the freezing mark overnight, prompting a reminder from ICBC to be extra cautious on the road.
If you notice on your vehicle there's some ice buildup on your window, that means there's likely some black ice out there. And the areas you need to be aware there could be black ice are under overpasses. Maybe on a bridge.
The change in weather has municipalities preparing for the heavy snow, like here at this Vancouver City Works Yard, where crews have already begun mobilizing salt and brine to treat high priority routes.
We've been having materials come in throughout the week. We can hold 3,500 tons of salt between our various yards.
He's also reminding residents to clear snow and ice from around their properties by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Snow and ice can be a barrier for people with mobility issues, seniors in the community, as well as families with strollers. So we also encourage members of the public to help their neighbours if they need support with clearing sidewalks.
At YVR, the airport authority says it's monitoring the changing weather conditions and crews are preparing to de-ice aircraft and keep runways clear. Air Canada, WestJet and Flair Airlines have all issued travel advisories for passengers traveling out of Vancouver and Abbotsford airports over the weekend. The airlines say they will waive fees for passengers wanting to change their flights due to the possible snowstorm. Pinky Wong, CBC News, Vancouver.
JT Miller's time in Vancouver has come to an end, with the Canucks trading the Star Center to the New York Rangers, along with defenseman Eric Brandstrom and Jackson Dorrington.
We had some good games here over the last week, and I think this team has shown when we're playing the right way and playing to our identity that we're a hard team to play against. And as I said, hopefully this will galvanize and make our team better.
In exchange, New York sent center Philip Heatle and defenseman Victor Mancini and a first-round pick in the 2025 NHL Draft. The Canucks have also acquired defenseman Marcus Pettersson and forward Drew O'Connor from the Pittsburgh Penguins, while Vancouver gave up Danton Heinen, Vincent Desharnais, and 2024 third-round draft pick Melvin Fernstrom. The Canucks will take on the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow night at Rogers Arena. The 2025 Invictus Games are 1 week away, and today Team Ukraine arrived in Vancouver before heading to Whistler to get ready to compete, greeted by fans, colorful signs, and a dance performance.
We are really excited. Every one of us was waiting for this journey half year, and our emotion overflew us.
It was really amazing to see Team Ukraine arrive. These people have been through so much, and to see the welcome they got from their community, it really struck an emotional chord.
The event will see roughly 550 ill and injured veterans and serving armed forces personnel from 22 nations compete in 11 adaptive sports, including alpine skiing and snowboard, Nordic skiing, biathlon, swimming, and wheelchair curling, rugby, and basketball. The games will take place February 8th to 16th. Still ahead, businesses in this country are preparing for devastating consequences as the trade war between the United States and Canada heats up. That's next. Stay with us. Returning to our top story, businesses across the country say they are now scrambling for a way to deal with the impact the new U.S. tariffs could have. Nicole Williams reports.
For Jessica Miao and her partner, business was just getting good. The Toronto bra manufacturers recently expanded into the U.S. market.
Our American customer base is around 30 to 50% every single month.
But now a 25% tariff is in place on Canadian exports into the States.
Because our bras will be more expensive for American consumers to purchase, that they're going to seek other American alternatives.
Businesses across the country now trying to grapple with such a devastating blow, and advocates say tariffs on exports won't even be the worst of it.
If Canada impose counter tariffs, it will also impact small and medium size here in Canada, because suddenly their imports from the US will be more expensive. Therefore, it will be more expensive for consumers to buy their daily products.
People eat out less, they buy less clothing. The pocketbook just gets a bit tighter for everybody, which has this ripple effect through the economy.
And then there are entire industries in the line of fire.
It's the wake-up call that you just don't want to get. We have made inroads into the American market for our scallop products in particular, and right now we're looking at 50% of our sales into the U.S. market.
Industry leaders across the country fearing three possible outcomes: businesses relocating altogether to the U.S., projects and investments into manufacturing in Canada put on pause, and job losses.
No one wants that, so that's why we need help in order to help businesses continue to invest in Quebec and not lose these jobs.
With the tariffs now official, businesses say there's only one good thing from this: no more waiting to see if this will actually happen. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.
Here we have a live shot of Whistler Olympic Village tonight, and I'll be right back with your forecast, which is going to be a wintry one. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and here's what's in your CBC Vancouver inbox.
Uncover the good, the bad, and everything in between on CBC's new daily podcast, This is Vancouver. Join CBC host Stephen Quinn on an adventure to uncover the hidden gems and highlight the authentic local stories in your community. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC Vancouver's e-newsletter at cbc.ca/Vancouver inbox.
All right, it is time now to take a look at our weekend weather. Let's begin with a quick peek at the current temperatures around the province tonight. Much lower than we're used to seeing, -27 in Fort St. John overnight, but clear, snowier in Golden with a -12 overnight. And on the island, 2 degrees overnight in Victoria with snow, and Tofino -1. Heading into tomorrow, Dease Lake is sunny and cloudy with a -24 tomorrow. -18 with a bit more overcast in Prince George. Snowier in Williams Lake with a -21 tomorrow, -6 in Kamloops. And over on the island, that rain is going to be mixed with some snow flurries and a high of 3 for tomorrow and 1 in Tofino. In Metro Vancouver, snow is on the way for both Sunday and into Monday and early next week. -2 is our expected high for tomorrow, and it looks like those conditions will stay relatively similar for the remainder of the week until that sun pops back out on Wednesday. That is your late news for this Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. For news at any hour, you can always head to our website at cbc.ca/BC. We'll see you tomorrow.